Hello and welcome to episode 44 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm Jim Klein, along with Taylor Franklin. We are your hosts and travel agents for all things Universal. On today's show, we discuss the unfortunate and tragic news surrounding Stardust Racers at Epic Universe. Hey Taylor, I wish this week has been better. Obviously, the topic that we're going to talk about is not the best.
Yeah, it's good to keep everybody informed as much as we can, but
Yeah.
and I'm sure Jim will say it in just a couple of minutes because he tends to, but I mean, we just want to make sure that, like, as fun as we are most of the time, we're just making sure that we're staying on top of actual news and stuff too.
Yeah. You know, what happened this past week is completely unfortunate and tragic. We're going to get this out of the way. We do not have any answers. We do not. And this is all speculation at this point, and this is what we're reading online,
Yep.
and it's from news sources, right? So
Mhm.
we're not just going off of some guys like Facebook comment or anything like that. Um, and it's a terrible thing that happened this past week.
Yeah.
So a 32-year-old man was riding Stardust Racers, became unconscious during the ride, and then later on passed away. It's terrible. It is a terrible and tragic thing that happened. And there are facts to go along with all this. And we are not picking sides. We are
Yep.
not on Universal side. We are not on the family side. We are just letting you guys know that this happened. Um, Now, before we went live here and started recording, we had a good like 5 to 10 minute conversation on how to approach this because
Yeah.
we do not want to upset anybody, obviously. And this is you have to kind of tread lightly in these situations because it is a serious matter and it's just unfortunate. And it seems as though it was just one of those things, right? Like it's just, and it happened.
Yeah.
That's one thing. After doing some research and stuff, there's a lot of incidents that happen at these theme parks, and I think Holly said in our group messages and stuff, and she was like, people do pass away at theme parks. It's just Epic is so new that it really did gain a lot of steam because of that.
Yeah.
Um,
And with the notoriety that comes from Stardust Racers, I mean, people have been talking about it since before the park opened, when they were still doing previews and things like that. Stardust Racers is a massive roller coaster right now. Everybody's talking about it, and it's going to be really hard to grapple with the idea that something that is so beloved right now is kind of under fire for a couple of things, despite it not fully being the roller coaster's fault.
yeah, so it's kind of unfortunate to like. Yeah, it's not the roller coaster's fault, honestly, there is the state inspectors have come in to the park, and they said that the ride was operating as it should,
Mhm.
right? So, with that being said, it's almost there's more to it obviously than that, right? It's not just, hey, the inspector said it's all good, like we're gonna open up the ride now. Like
Right.
it's gonna have to go through some testing and see what actually. I'm sure there's videos and that they have to go through and stuff like that. And it's yeah, man, it's hard to talk about.
It's really hard. I mean, this
It really is.
information doesn't come lightly. I think Jim and I had a whole conversation before we started where we were trying to figure out how to approach the topic and where exactly we should even start, because we don't want to scare anybody at all. That's my big thing, is I don't want to scare anybody. There's no reason to think that this ride is unsafe, or that this ride, could that this could happen to you. Um, so
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, it's an unfortunate occurrence,
yeah,
obviously, and they're gonna get to the bottom of it or not get to the bottom. You don't even know, to be honest,
yeah,
and it's just like it's you know here's my thing on this was on like Facebook and TikTok comments, right?
mhm.
People are like picking sides here, and I don't understand that. at all, and it's very, like, kinda disheartening where it's just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, Universal did all the" now, to say they did say that the team members at Universal followed all protocols for this situation.
Hmm.
Um, Everything went as it should have in an emergency situation, right?
Right.
Um, and of course, the family wants answers too, right? They lost a loved one.
Yeah.
They want they want the answers too. It's a it's just hard to, you know, and you know what, you know, it's so funny because you go through our past episodes, right? And I had that fun game that we played, and like now I'm like kind of cringing at it a little bit, but like
The warning signs.
the warning sign game. We had the warning sign game, and like, to be honest, this person that passed away, he did have a spinal, like, pre-existing
Hmm.
condition, and it's that has to be said too because obviously in the warning sign, I have the warning sign here for it. You know, I don't even have to read it to be honest. Like, it's I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying that in the warning sign, it does say if you have any spine or back issues or, you know, don't ride the ride.
Right.
That being said, him as a person felt that he could do the ride, right?
Hmm.
We all make our own decisions in life. That's how I feel about it.
I
And
agree.
there's a lot of times where, okay, a lot of these signs say like, oh, if you have high blood pressure or you have like, I don't know, what 80% of Americans have high blood pressure at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard, and you're your own person, right?
Hmm.
So you can't blame the guy for going on
Right.
because I'm sure he's been on it either even before, or he went on another roller coaster, or like
Hmm.
I'm sure he's been on multiple roller coasters in his life,
Yeah.
you know?
I
So
mean, it's unfortunate that this is, what happened.
yeah,
Um, because it could have easily just not have happened. I mean, if he's been on other rides like this and rides that warn against injuries and things like this that um, he's experienced before, but at the same time, to avoid speculation or anything like that, we kind of want to stick as much to the facts as we can right now. And we really don't have the entire picture other than what Universal's saying and what the news reports are saying.
yeah, and
So,
social media has been a
mhm.
garbage wasteland and this issue. I'll tell
Since
you
the
that.
beginning of time,
It
pretty
is.
much.
It is so bad.
Yeah.
And there's people that are just like putting out Stardust Racers content just because they know people are searching for it. And
Yeah.
it's you know, it's funny because last week we talked about how Stardust Racers was voted best new roller coaster, right? Best roller coaster. And I was clipping our our podcast last week, and that came up like when I was clipping it. It was like I got to that point, and it's like I'm like I don't even want to put this out right now because that's kind of like awkward, right? Like, isn't
Yeah.
that not the weirdest thing in the world to be like, oh yeah, here's us talking about how great Stardust Racers is, and then this tragic thing happened. It's you know, now that let's get into this part too. This is another, like I said, all facts, no opinions here. Okay,
Hmm.
the family has hired an attorney. Oh my god, an attorney.
Hmm.
Um, Now, the attorney's name is Ben Crump. He is a very high-powered civil rights attorney.
Yep.
Um, it's you can go look him up. His name is Ben Crump. You can see all. And I talked to Taylor before this. We do not want to mention his cases that he's defended or or was like litigated against because there's some big cases that he's been a part of. Um, and it seems as though, right, obviously they all say the same thing where it's like they just want to know more information. The family wants to know. And I feel that they felt that an attorney would help them get to that point. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, this is not a normal episode for us because we're usually so much fun. Like, let's be honest. Like, this is so
Yeah.
hard for us to
I
do right
I
now.
really hate it. I love making fun of Jim.
I know. Yeah, Taylor buys $14 slices of pizza, everyone. Just let that sink in. The Universally Epic Podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel, a Universal You Preferred travel agency. If you're looking to plan your next Universal Orlando vacation, let's do it together. As certified universal specialists, we can help guide you through the planning process with helpful tips and tricks along the way. The best part, all our travel planning services are free to you.
When you book your Universal Orlando vacation with us, you qualify for an exclusive booking bonus offer from the Magic for Less Travel, a $25 Universal gift card for all vacation packages over $2,500. Ready to start planning? Email the podcast at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com and start planning your next epic Universal vacation today.
Okay? And
It's
not
really
not very
hard
good.
to like not try to like make jabs at Jim or like try to like, have this banter and everything, but this is important and this is something that does need to be discussed, and it's our duty as your travel agents, because that is the second part of
Yeah,
our little intro there. It's your duty, it's our duty as your travel agents to make sure that you guys are as informed about Universal as you can be. I
yeah,
promise we'll be back with the fun stuff, but
yeah.
for
But
now
we'll get
this is
there
what we
quick.
got.
Trust me, because this is so uncomfortable for both of
Oh,
us
it's
right
so
now.
awkward.
But we couldn't join this. Like in my head, I was like, oh, we could talk about the Rock the Universe, and it's like no, we can't do that right
No,
now.
we
We
can't.
can't. We could do that next week. We could talk about Rock the Universe ticket packages next week, right? It's just you kind of have to be a little self aware where it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, we're talking about a very serious topic right now,
Yeah.
and to then switch topics and say, what the heck, okay, let's just have some fun now. Um, Spidey fan in our TikTok live here says he's going to Epic Universe in a week. I don't think Stardust will be open, unfortunately. I don't want
Unfortunately, we don't have any opening dates for Stardust Racers yet. I believe in the statement that was put out by Universal, they said that they didn't even have an opening date, and unfortunately, they have to run all of the safety checks and everything, because despite the state board and everything coming in to do the initial checks to make sure that everything was functioning the way that it should, they do still have safety procedures and things like that that they have to make sure are in place and working, um, by the time before they can get ready. It's kind of like, even if you like buy a building to build a restaurant, and that building has been a restaurant the whole time, you still have to get the fire marshal in to check its fire code.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if anybody's telling you when it's opening, they don't know either. I'll tell you that
Mm-hmm.
much. Like I don't care who you
They don't
are.
know.
Right now, nobody knows when it's opening.
Mm-mm.
Um, who knows? You know,
Honestly, not even a best guess. I don't even have a best guess for something like that because it's so new. I mean, the things like this, unfortunately, things like this we don't hear enough about in the theme parks to have any kind of like window. And fortunately, this doesn't happen frequently enough for it to be an issue where we would be able to guess something like that.
yeah, it's you just got to let it run its course. Let them make sure the ride is safe, and it seems as though they've already said that it was running at its what it's supposed to be running like.
Right.
Obviously, something went wrong. Maybe it was the G's that knocked them out, or whatever it was. Like you don't know,
It
but
could have been any
that's
manner
that's
of
that's like
things.
I feel like an individual basis, right? Like that's based on each person has a different like a tolerance for each individual thing. So it's like hard to like
Yeah.
go by. So that's how difficult it is for these theme parks because like they have to appeal to a mass audience,
Hmm.
right? But also thrill those thrill seekers that are like need more, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's a very fine line there. It seems,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, so it's a tough one. Yeah,
Right.
in terms of reopening, I tried like looking up how like what the procedure would be, and
Hmm.
I can't really find too much. You know, like it started talking about how like the ride has to run for 80 hours uninterrupted with normal passengers go like load and unload times and all this stuff. They went into
Hmm.
this whole thing. But like I don't know if that means now or that's just like a normal occurrence when they're testing the ride. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't know if that was like before it even opened.
I
So
believe that's a safety procedure before it opens. I think that's like the one of the last things they do before the ride reopens.
gotcha. Okay.
I
So
believe.
when you see
Because
that
they won't run the roller coaster with people on it until they're like ready to open it,
until then,
pretty much.
yeah. Okay. So when you start seeing that, when we start seeing Stardust like running constantly,
Yeah.
you're gonna know that it's almost there. It's probably
Hmm.
a few days out. And as your travel agents, as your friends on the podcast, like just be patient. That's all.
Hmm.
And don't listen to the noise on social media because people are
No.
so brutal. It's so brutal, and
People are mean.
really upsetting. It really
Yeah.
is because it's just not. This is. It, it seems like everybody's so decided, like divisive everywhere you look, and it's like this should not be anything where it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, he shouldn't have been on the ride. Oh no, Universal's at fault. And it's like, okay, guys, relax. This guy passed away. He's 32 years old. Like
Yeah.
this is awful. It's an awful thing that just
Hmm.
happened, and it just stinks. It just stinks,
Yeah.
and it's a brand new park, and it's just just and we said
It
it right
sucks.
off the bat. It's really difficult to talk about,
Yeah.
and I think we're done talking about it right now because I
I think
think
so.
yeah, I think we're just like we can't just like keep going here because
Mm-mm.
it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But we felt that at this point in time, this is all that we heard about for the last week, right? We had
Yeah.
content happen. I forgot what day it was. Was it last Friday?
Had to
We're
have been, I
recording on
think.
Monday. I'm not sure. Like we might find more information out between now and Wednesday when this episode comes out. But like,
Hmm.
you know, this is what we know right now on Monday night on TikTok Live. So,
Yeah.
um, we said we're not going to get into any other topics today. Like
Nope.
this is going to be a quick one, and but we do have other topics that we're going to have next week,
Yeah.
and we do want to lighten the mood just slightly before we go because
Just a little bit.
Taylor has a great idea for next week's episode. So we appreciate you going through this awful and really uncomfortable journey with us here for 18 minutes, and it's
Yeah.
really not fun to talk about. So, Taylor, what's that idea you have for next week?
So I want to play Universal this or that. It will give us opportunities to be fun and make fun of each other.
Yes.
And kind of go back to the hosts that you guys want us to be.
Yeah, we're not doing
Um,
this whole
and we'll
series.
talk about Rock the Universe because it always makes me giggle. I love Rock the Universe.
Yeah, I was there for Rock the Universe one time. I didn't know if Rock the Universe was actually
Oh my
happening when I
gosh,
so that was interesting. I didn't know what it was.
that's fun.
I was a bad travel agent back then. I didn't realize how huge it was. To be honest, like I heard of it, but like I didn't
I also
know.
didn't know how big it was.
Yeah, it's gigantic. So that's something we can talk about next week as well. Um, yeah, so we're gonna play a game next week. Everybody likes our
Yep.
games. Um,
They love our
I don't know.
games.
You know what? I'm not gonna apologize for our warning sign game. Like I'm not gonna do that because we had a good time and it was
It
it,
was
it
a
said it
it
said
was
that
a silly way to stay informed about the warning signs because, guys, I guess a little tip here thrown at the end. Those warning signs aren't there for nothing.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and a lot of the times, people look over them and they're like, "Oh my god, this roller coaster looks insane," or "This ride looks insane" because of the warning signs. But the warning signs are genuinely there to help, and they'll inform you about the things on the ride that you may not be aware of.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think it was more of the like roller coaster ones and the ET ones is what we
Yeah,
were making fun of, like more
yeah,
so than like the intense like Mummy and Velocity.
right.
We didn't even do the Velocicoaster, but like I think we just did Universal Studios that time.
Yeah, I think so
But
too.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Like ET was like intense, and it's like it's not really that intense. Like it's so it was like one of those things. It was
Yeah,
yeah. Well, like I said, that was a good episode though. Like we had a good time. Like
yeah.
we had fun, we laughed, and that's what we're gonna get back into next week because
Hmm.
this is not who we really are, and we don't want to talk about this stuff, but we
Mm,
felt like we had to. So we're gonna end that. end this
Yeah.
episode here. Um, I want to thank everyone in our TikTok live right now. We have 1,000 likes on our live right now, and we've been only live for like 20 minutes. So I really do appreciate if you guys aren't following us on TikTok. Please go and follow it. I set up a live event every week for when we're going to record. You'll get a notification. Hit the link, and you can see us do this live. And you see all the behind the scenes stuff because I do cut out quite a bit because we mess up quite a bit. So, um, all right, and so this episode has been brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Um, if you have any trip planning questions or would like to plan your next trip, email us at,
universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com.
and like always, have an epic week, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Do you want to talk about anything else, or let's just get
No.
this over with? Yeah, let's go. I'll cut this part out.
Those of you on TikTok Live, you can all see it.
Um, all right. So